I want to know your thoughts too on kind of getting out of your own bubble. Um, for example, a lot of people, um, you know, I'm gonna reference Patrick Bet David on this because he does a really good saying where he was talking about levels, right? Everybody's at a certain level. Almost
Yeah.
think of life as a game, right? There's certain levels to the game, and you're at what a certain again, you're at a certain level, and he was talking about how let's just say you're making 100K, or let's just say you're making 200,000 a year, right? Maybe you in your city you're making $200,000. You are in the top 1% in your circle of friends.
Okay.
Maybe you're at the top of your circle of friends. You make more
Yeah.
money than them. You're da 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 da, right?
Yeah.
He says the next level, if you put yourself in the next level, there's people who are making 500 to a million a year.
Yeah.
And now you go from 1%, the top 1%, now you're at the bottom 90%
Yeah.
within that
Yeah.
next level. You're not the richest guy in your circle anymore. And then again, you go to the next level. Now
Yeah.
there's guys that are making 10 million plus a year, or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. And so I I want to know your thoughts on this because, again, I feel like we get stuck at certain levels, whether it's mentally or whatever. And do you agree with that? Where it's like, if you want to move to the next level, there's other people outside, like in the world, like you can almost get stuck in this bubble. Like, yeah, I'm successful. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. No, I only took the financial
Yeah.
example because it was very simple to compare.
No, everyone, yeah, comfortably financially. A lot of people very comfortable in their relationships as well. You see it all the time. But um, yeah, I definitely think that's true.
Yeah. And
Uh,
how do you get out of that bubble? Because I've seen you
yeah,
a lot in terms of leveling up.
yeah,
Like I've seen you put yourself in these different scenarios, and
yeah.
like, you're pushing that sort of
Well,
bar.
when you land in a new country, like when I moved to Edmonton or I moved to Dubai, I moved to Saudi Arabia, I moved here to San Diego, first thing you ask yourself, and you unpack your suitcase and everything's like, what am I going to do? And who am I going to do it with? you
Mm,
know? And so a lot of people, okay, I'll just go out drinking and hang out with, so and so, whoever's there. Other people are very, they network very well. And other people, they just kind of just go with the flow. For me, I always try to identify the people that I kind of want to be like, So when I moved to Dubai, for example, I didn't know anybody. I moved there in 2016, didn't know anyone, no friends, no friends of friends or family or anything like that. It was literally on my own. So I just started I was working at one of the banks there at the time, and I just started speaking to a lot of the people there, networking and spending time with them. So you can very strategically put what level you want to network in, right?
right.
And so you have
Yeah.
to be very intentional with that as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it networking? Is networking some of the where you put yourself in that position? Do you
Yeah.
see like
Yeah.
networking as like one of the? Do you
Well,
see it
I
as the
love
top?
going to conferences, like you meet the people who actually want to really be there. Networking can be tough as well. Like when I used to write a lot of messages on LinkedIn, and I still do. A lot of people, they don't message back, but I know who they are when I meet them at a conference. Like I say, hey, I sent you a message a while back, and they're able to see that. But going back to your question about the levels, like, yeah, it's all about networking, and also learning what you need to learn at each level, like you don't want to just go to the top level, right? That's why there's different levels. And so you have to take your time and go up each level. And then I'm still doing that as well. There's certain things that I'm looking to achieve, this week, this month, this year as well. So to answer your question, yeah, there definitely are levels to that. And I think networking is key to it. Also hard work is a big key to it, and patience as well. Everyone wants everything now, but certain seeds that you plant, they don't bear fruit until years later sometimes.
Yeah.
And so you have to be very, very patient with it. Before I was very impatient with it, and I can see how a lot of younger guys are impatient with it and they want it now, but you have to give it a little bit of time as well, and let that grow And so I think that's one of the most important things on leveling up like that is networking and having the patience and then the hard work for that to fall into place. And you need time and dedication for that.
Yeah, and you mentioned LinkedIn, and that's something that you've brought up a few times where, you've told me like, hey, check out LinkedIn, message people, network with people. Do you, what's something, I mean, other than LinkedIn, is there other ways that you try to network with people? I know you mentioned conferences. Are there other ways that, young men who might not have a good network, they might not have a brotherhood, they might not have friends that they kind of align with their goals and their interests?
Yeah.
What are some things
Well,
that
they have to
potentially you do?
find it. You have to find it.
Yeah. How do
So
you
if
find it?
yeah, so what is who are the people you want to be around with? Like if you have to define first of all the type of people you want to be around. So like okay, if you work in media, you want to be around all the media people. If you're hanging out with your average people who are not in your field, then of course you're not going to have that. Right. So where do those media people, where are they? Like, have you looked it up internationally? That's one of the things working as an international consultant, I'm really global with the way that I think about things. And you have a media company, let's say, for example, and you define different media companies in different countries. Like Australia has media companies, Middle East, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Latin America has a lot of media companies. So, what are they doing? Who's doing those? Who are running those media companies? Where did they go? Where did they go to school? You know what I mean? Do they have certain conferences? How do I go to those conferences? How much is the price to go to those conferences? How do I get there? Who do I message? Like these are certain things. You just have to define first of all where it is that you want to where you want to be at. And that's the hardest thing that I said is you have to cut out the distractions and everything and just define what it is that you kind of want to go towards.
Yeah, the vision of having like what do you really really want?
Yeah, exactly.
Having a clear cut sort of vision.
Yeah, exactly. That's the hardest part, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of guys I feel like we're drowned in almost opportunities now, or in a sense of, oh, I could do everything.
Yeah.
And be successful at it.
Yeah, and so it's the guys, like us who are going to be very laser focused in what we're doing, not getting distracted, by the low-hanging fruit and the shiny object syndrome.
Yes.
And being laser focused in what you do and sticking to it. I think that's a very difficult thing. There's so many distractions, social media, partying, women. There's so many different distractions that guys come across that they have to overcome and stay very focused on what it is they're trying to achieve through those different hurdles that come about. And that's where I think a lot of people go to the left and to the right and then kind of veer off the course. They just have to stay focused on that. There's so many distractions today. TikTok, Instagram.
Yeah, bro. And another thing too is I feel like around our age, I feel like we settle, right? We're like, like I'm good in my career. I've worked in this company for a few years. I'm good. Guys get married at this time. They have some kid. They have a few kids. Yeah. They start getting these sort of family responsibilities, and that sort of ambition of their career dies because obviously they're spending more time with their family and they're spending more time with their spouse or their kids or whatever. And now the kids become priority or whatever the case may be. And now that sort of goal that they had for their career they're okay with where they're at. Yeah, because now their focus now they've pivoted to their family.
Well, I mean, having kids and families is very important, and I can, I'm not there yet, but I'm sure that's a really high priority, and that's a great thing and inspiring in itself. But it's, you really have to have your priorities straight, right? Like, are you gonna look after your career, your fitness? Like you said, you have to have those pillars in place. So you have different priorities. There's never gonna be enough time for these things. It's just gonna be priorities that you need to have.
Yeah, bro. Priorities.
Yeah. No, it's true. I mean, for me at the moment, it's all physical fitness. It's fitness, it's wellness, having my mindset there, focus on my career, traveling. Going to be in Dubai next month, and end of the year again. So it's literally just that focus at the moment, and 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 just having those priorities in place and aligning with individuals, like yourself, that have that same priority and passion as well. You come here, it's not just all glitz and glam and tourism. It's like we hang out, we get our steps in.
I mean, we've worked the entire weekend.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, but in a good way. Like
Oh yeah.
we've been shooting a lot of content, working out, going to classes, lifting, getting our steps in, and doing all the some of the touristy things while we're doing that as well. So, I think walking at the beach as well. I think, yeah, like I said, 15,200 today steps. So I mean,
Yeah.
like that's my routine every single day. I'm doing that, and I think the first few weeks of that were hard, but once you get into the routine, there's no stopping, and then you find people to help enforce that.
Right.
I don't need to go out and, all right, I'm gonna have to sacrifice this. I'm gonna hang out with people. Hey, do you want to meet up? We can, you can go for a hike, you can go for a walk, and you can go to the gym. Like you come here, we work out together. And it just works and it flows, and I can be around like-minded individuals just like that. And I work out on vacation as well, man. Like
Mhm. Yeah.
like I don't understand, like when I'm on vacation, I work out as well. Like
Yeah.
I get it in the morning, and then I just chill and relax. So there's no deviating from that anymore for me, because I've done that, and you feel horrible about yourself, and one thing leads into another. And so
Yeah.
at the moment, completely laser focused.
Yeah. Laser focus, man. Yeah. And talk to me about your experience in Dubai. I know,
What was your impression of Dubai? You
dude.
came to visit me in Dubai.
Bro,
What did you
Dubai
think?
is first of all, I always tell people back home, and especially in Edmonton, I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
you have to go to Dubai once
Yeah.
in your life.
Yeah.
You have to, because when I went, I mean, again, it's not for everybody. I know that sort of lifestyle, whatever, is not for everybody, but to see it,
Yeah.
to be a part of it, for the 2.5 weeks that I was there, it was unreal. Like, it was, this is my favorite vacation
Yeah.
and favorite getaway that I've been to this day.
Yeah, no, Dubai it's amazing. I mean, it's not for everyone, like you said, but there's something for everyone. I feel like there's
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
no
yeah.
matter what you like to do, it's there. And it's so funny. We have so many different stereotypes coming from America and Canada about Dubai. And I hear so many different things about it, even Saudi Arabia as well. But, Dubai is an amazing place. And for me, I just love it. It's always going to be a part of me. I spend part of the year there. I have a home there, relax, and work from there sometimes as well. And it's business as usual there. And then when I'm here in San Diego as well, it's like the best of both worlds. I love the multiculturalness of Dubai.
Mm.
I meet when I'm there. You meet people from all over the world. And growing up here in the U.S., like I always felt like this cultural identity. It wasn't really there for me. Like, okay, who am I? You know what I mean? But you go
Yeah.
to Dubai, I've learned so much about my culture: Indian culture, Pakistani culture, Punjabi culture, Middle East, Arab culture. I'm able to identify, people from Jordan, Egypt, Morocco, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, Oman, the difference between all of them. I didn't know that growing up until I went there and I experienced these things, and so it's just evolving, learning about different cultures and people and how they operate, and it's just amazing. I love it. It's clean, it's safe. There's the food's amazing. There's so
Yeah.
much to do, and and like I said, I lived in Edmonton too, so I know what it's like living in Edmonton. I lived there for 2 years, and so Dubai is completely different. And I think you're probably one of the only friends that made the journey out for that long. Everyone just stops over for a day and leaves, but you came specifically to Dubai for 2 weeks. And I think that was well rewarded for you. Like, your mindset is completely expanded now. And so, yeah, I would definitely recommend it to anyone who wants to kind of go there and see the different opportunities, whether it's, culturally, professionally, amazing city for hubs, the best city to work remote in the world, hands down. Amazing cafes, beaches, and whatever it is you like to do, it's amazing. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah. One of my favorite parts of Dubai was the old souk.
Yeah, you liked it.
Yeah, it was cool. It reminded me of back home, Afghanistan.
Yeah,
I've There's a lot of places similar to that.
yeah.
A little,
Well,
sort of
we
like a
did
flea
meet the
market.
Afghan souk owners there who ran the stone shops. You remember
Yes.
they got the stones from, I think it was like Jalalabad, and they bring them into
Yeah.
Dubai. I mean, I remember your face. You saw that. You're like, wow, they're like, they actually live here and they do this and they sell these stones in the souk. It's a very, very reflective experience on you, you know?
I
And then,
talked to one of them.
yeah,
Yeah, I talked to one of them for a little bit, and yeah,
yeah,
24-year-old guy who come
yeah,
here, went there to provide for his family,
absolutely.
and set up shop there, and is doing his thing. So
It's the perfect city where East meets West, really. You know what
mm.
I mean? It's just amazing, and it's so funny
Yeah.
because we're all so busy in our work life here, and even me, I get caught up in it when I'm here in the States. That's why I like to spend 6 to 8 months here, and then the rest a few months in Dubai. Everyone asks me, "Oh, when do you spend time in Dubai and San Diego? How do you do that?" Well, I spend like 8 months here. Spend
Yep.
4 months, around 4 months in Dubai, and I
Yep.
think that's a perfect balance for me. But like I was saying, a lot of people here get caught up in work, their routines, and they get very comfortable in that. But you have to really make time for certain experiences as well, and and traveling outside of the norm, and that's the most enriching experience for me. Because when I was in Canada, it was what everyone, like I said, all inclusive Mexico for 3-4 days, and
That's
that's it during December holiday,
yeah.
and that's it. But you have to really make time to um to explore other cities and countries.
Shout out to all my white friends who just go to Mexico every year.
Hey man, all inclusive. No
All
disrespect to that.
inclusive.
That's great. Like, it's warm weather. I understand it's cold there, but it's hot in Dubai as well, and it's just plane ride. 14 hours is a long time from Toronto, and you have a layover, but you get there, it's very rewarding. You'll probably be the only Canadian or American you come across in the day. There's so many different people. I met so many Europeans. A lot of my friends are British. I learned so much about British culture, Indian culture, like I said, my own Indian culture, Pakistani culture. I learned so much about that. And these things, in California, I didn't really know, and I still wouldn't have if I was, just here working hard and then just having a weekend to hang out.
Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, definitely. I am with you on that. On the Dubai front, I think everybody
Yeah.
should go there. But I think you bring one of the things that I've learned from you, Ankur, is that don't be afraid to take risks. Don't be
Yeah.
afraid to travel, get out of your comfort zone on that front, and execute, man. I think
Yeah,
those are the few things that
absolutely.
I've
And
learned
that
from
goes
you.
back to my consulting experience. Like, I worked in a software firm that had offices in like 17 different cities around the world, and I'd look at the CEO every day and never really talk to him. I just look at him and, like, he'd be on 17 different cities, and, oh, what is this project doing? What is that project doing? And I was like, what city is that? Like, where? Cape Town or Johannesburg? Where's that? Or Sydney? Or where are these cities? And, like, and you learn about international opportunities, and you go to these countries and work, and you have to hit the ground running. You know what I mean? And so I'd see the other older consultants and learn from them. And when my opportunities came about, I do the same thing and just hit the ground running. And you go with it, and and you just learn from there. So I always look at things from a global opportunity. That's also, I'm telling you as well. I think we had that conversation
Yeah, we did.
as well. I was like, hey, like, you were in Edmonton right now. How do you go here, here, and here, and in whatever field that you work in? And it's not for everyone. Like, I get it. A lot of people are very comfortable in their lives, especially in Edmonton. I love it's a very comfortable place to live in the nice suburbs, that ring road and all that stuff. It's very comfortable.
Ring Road, he means Anthony Hende. So
That's the thing, right? Yeah, and so no, I've been there.
yeah,
It's good. I love the summers in Edmonton. June, July. I was telling you, June and July, like, you have what, long days. The sunset's like 10 p.m.
yeah,
10:15, 10:30. It's light out still. You don't get that anywhere else in the world. And
yeah.
everyone, when I was in Edmonton, everyone said, "What are you doing there? Why'd you come here from California? And what are you doing here? Like, you're in Edmonton. It's minus 30 right now. What's wrong with you?" Well, I'm like, well, I'm just here on a project. Let's see how things work out, And I really didn't know myself, but for me, Edmonton was like the place where, for those 2 years, I just plugged in. It is just work, career, obviously fitness. We played a lot of basketball, met a lot of cool people, built some good relationships there. And you know, you take the best parts about it. And so, you know, June in the summertime in Edmonton, I love it. You know, if
Yeah.
I had to plan a year, I was telling you earlier, if I had to plan a year, I would plan, you know, 2 months at least, June and July in Edmonton, because it's just beautiful summer. You
Yeah.
know, everyone's happy, wedding season, and
Yeah.
you
for
know how
sure.
it is, right?
Absolutely, bro. You know, on the Second Floor podcast, we love to ask this as, you know, something of a wrap up. But before we wrap up, I wanna say thank you, man, for coming on the pod. I
Yeah,
appreciate
finally
you.
did it.
And you know, this won't be the last time our audience sees you. What do you got going on in the pipeline, in terms of projects? You know, where can people find you if they want to connect with you? How do they do that?
Yeah, so projects. I mean, I'm still consulting right now. You know, sometimes I go in between projects. I'll take some time off, but you know, I think the next year or so we'll be working pretty hard on the software consulting side of things in the banking. So working on the U.S. side, social media, working on some exciting stuff.
Coming soon.
Coming soon, you know. So we'll be pretty busy with that. Fitness as well. Fitness and fashion. Gonna get back to traveling. I think I've been here since December, you know, about 6-7 months now. So been in the lab and looking forward to getting back to traveling. So, you know, Instagram at Ankur Jaswal. You know, you can send me a message and I'll get back to you on there and
Slide in the
Yeah.
DMs.
slide in the DMs. No, I check them. I'll message and I'll get back to you on there. You know, you can LinkedIn as well is really good. So if you want interested in fashion or anything like that, or fitness or fashion, message me. If you're more so on like the banking consulting side, how do you do those types of things and how did I get to where I am? You know, you can find me on LinkedIn and message me, and happy to help.
Absolutely, brother.
Yeah.
Final question before we wrap up. What does it take to get to the second floor? Obviously, the idea of the second floor is to get to the next level. That's how we kind of define this podcast. We started 4 years ago, and that's kind of what we sort of end off. We ask each guest, what does it take to get on the second floor?
To get on the second floor podcast.
Not
Or
the
just a
not the
second.
podcast, not the podcast.
Took a lot
in general.
for me to get here.
Yeah, exactly. No, just like in general,
Yeah.
in life. How do you get
Sure.
to that next level?
No problem. You gotta like crawl up the stairs. You know, it's tough,
Oh,
but like you gotta crawl
damn!
up the stairs.
You hear
and-
that, Adriel? Crawl up the stairs, man.
Yeah,
I love
because you're
that.
gonna get to the elevator, it might not be working, and so you know you
Sheesh.
and you gotta get to the stairs.
Yo, wait, you
crawl
gotta
up.
say that again. Okay, so we gotta hear this properly. All right, Ankur, what does it take to get to the second floor?
Oh, you gotta crawl up the stairs to the second floor. You know, the elevator might not be working, and sometimes you just gotta take the hard way there, and you know, the longer and more difficult path. But you know, you'll get there. Sometimes the one with most least resistance may not be available. So, you know, I always try to take the stairs. What was that Will Smith? He climbed up the Burj Khalifa on the stairs. Pretty much, he walked all the way up 180 flights of stairs of the Burj Khalifa. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
see that. Man, that was a fire episode. I don't know about you, but dude, I appreciate you for coming on, man.
It was long overdue.
That last bar, definitely going to use that as a clip. We're going to post that. Dude, thank you so much, man. This was fun. Again, we'll have anyone who wants to connect with Ankur, you'll be able to find his social media handles in the description. For those listening on Spotify, Apple Music, make sure to give us a review, man. We need some reviews so we can start building up on these Spotify algorithms so people can see our podcast. If you guys love our episode, please subscribe on YouTube. Like, maybe hit,
Yeah.
throw a comment on the video, please. It'd be really nice to see some engagement.
Yeah. Look at Omid's beautiful smile there. So
Exactly. No, thank you guys so much. This was Second Floor San Diego edition. We appreciate y'all. Hey, maybe we might do this more often. Maybe when you're in Dubs, when you're in Dubai, do a Dubai Second Floor edition.
Second floor Dubai.
Adriel, what do you think? Dubai? What do you think? Yeah, see, he's nodding his head. He likes it.
We're going international now. Huh?
International.
See, look, there you go. You're doing it.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.